Week in Review, July 29th, 2024. So last week I went to El Paso, Texas, and I spent a couple days with the Border Patrol there. The Border Patrol is a big sponsor of the CrossFit Games, and so went out there in the morning. In the evening, toured around the border wall, actually. Toured around El Paso. It's actually my first time going to El Paso. We had dinner at this cool Mexican restaurant, did a little tour, and then the next morning I trained with a couple other trainers from CrossFit, Todd and Courtney. We trained about a large group, 30 or 40 Border Patrol agents from the El Paso sector, and that was a lot of fun. We did a cool little run, air squat and burpee workout. They were all really enthusiastic. They all had a lot of passion for CrossFit. What was cool is I've worked with a lot of military units, a lot of cops, a lot of different LEO, mill people, and pretty much all of the agents we interacted with or worked with just had a lot of passion. All the Border Patrol agents had a lot of passion for what they did and really cared about their mission and their job. So it was cool seeing them so fired up and into it. Then we eventually, after that, we went over to the SOG headquarters. Actually, I got my hat. SOG, Special Operations Group, and met up with the chief in charge of BORTAC and BORSTAR. BORTAC is their Border Patrol Tactical Operations team. BORSTAR is their search and rescue team. I didn't know much about those teams prior to Uvalde. And then after that, heard a little bit about them, started researching them, started learning more about them. And then at this brief, learned about their capabilities and everything they do. They're basically, they have a full-time team there in El Paso. Then they have other teams at the station, and they respond to incidents really all around the country. And so it's pretty cool to see a tactical team like that who has a lot of experience and really takes the job seriously. All the tactical teams take the job seriously, but they also really, because of all the experience they have and because they're able to, canvass the country and even the world essentially for their mission, they're able to get real world experience on a much more regular basis than some other units. So from the Wikipedia, I'm going to read a couple things. In 2020, as part of the Protecting American Communities Task Force, BORTAC was deployed during the George Floyd protests in Portland, Oregon, which sparked criticism from Governor Kate Brown and others, as well as a lawsuit claiming the agency engaged in unlawful detainment, arbitrary picking up people in Portland streets in unmarked vehicles who were too far from federal buildings to be considered a credible threat. What's funny about that is I remember seeing that while all that was going on and all the protests in Portland were going on. I saw on the headlines in the news that there were this agency in unmarked vehicles rolling up and basically snatching people who were breaking the law and rolling them up. And I was like, thought A, that's pretty fucking cool, and B, I was like, who the fuck was that? And then I didn't realize until years later, and then I started researching these guys and realized it was them. And then the other cool thing they did recently was, I'll read it. In 2022, during the elementary school shooting in Uvalde, the Del Rio sector field office nearby deployed BORTAC to help assist the local authorities. Arriving an hour after the beginning of the shooting, they ended the massacre by breaching the classroom where the suspect was barricaded and neutralized him. One BORTAC officer was grazed in the head by a bullet during a shootout. So we all know that tragedy and what happened there, but basically the local authorities, local cops weren't doing anything. Those guys showed up on scene, took control of the chaotic scene that existed, made entry, and in making entry, one of their guys got shot, but they ended up killing the threat. So if they didn't show up, I mean, I imagine that guy or the kid, whoever it was with the gun, could have ended up killing many more people. So a couple cool stories. It was really cool to meet them and see their facility and see all their gear and see their process to how to join, etc. Last week, so that was last week. That was a couple days last week. I did some testing on Friday. Then I put out a little video. Actually, prior to putting out the video on Friday, we announced the clean ladder and the structure for how that's going to go down, the basic overview. Didn't announce the weight jets. And then the next day, actually, while I was on Sevon's podcast, I posted a video with Trista Smith doing it was a little hint of her conducting one of the events. So um, the momentum the momentum towards building up for the games is rolling, and next week, so Saturday, or this week actually, in 5 days, I'm heading out there, and then I'll be there throughout, obviously until Monday, Tuesday. So for the rest of the week, while I'm there, I plan on doing maybe a day in review. Maybe I should call it that. Yeah. So this is the week in review. Maybe I'll do a day in review while we're at the games. Oh, last week I also did a video with Matt O'Keefe. Finished the athlete series. Did a video with Matt O'Keefe and HWPO, and we'll do one with Proven, I think this week or coming up. Today, actually, in a couple hours, I'm flying out to Colorado Springs. I'll be out there doing some work with our Army counterparts, with our in the Army effort we have going on. So I'll be there through tomorrow, and then tomorrow night fly back. So a lot of travel, a lot of CrossFit travel, CrossFit work unrelated to the games that is still going on, and it's good though. I'm ready. I'll come back, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday takes. I'll still be working, but slow down a little, and then prep for leaving for the games. Also, on that note, I don't have it yet because it hasn't been shipped to me, but I launched this limited edition T-shirt. It's pretty cool. I like it. It says it has my logo, and then it has XV III, so it represents 18. The X is my logo, and so this is the 18th year of the CrossFit Games. And then built into that is the Texas flag, which is kind of cool, and the shirt's done in green, kind of like the Tex-Mex theme. Hold on, let me get my dog. She's about to cross the fence. So if you're interested in the shirt, tdcmercantile.com. I also launched another olive oil. It's a Thai chili flavor. It's really good, and it's selling fast. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. It's also on tdcmercantile.com. So last week I did this live. This week I am not doing this live. Let's go into the comments and cover some of the comments from last week. So top comments, 43 comments. Was waiting for the BAM. We're live. So I guess these are some of the comments from the live feed. I think it's great for CrossFit. I think it's great for CrossFit for Caster to go live and interact with the community, even if only here and there. That was fun. Cool. Keep doing this live. That was fun. You could turn this into an amazing podcast with your background and access the ability for HQ to be on the forefront of pods, and news would be so huge for the worldwide community. Think Rogan, but for the CrossFit community. It's interesting because I really don't have any interest in doing a podcast. Some would say this stuff is a podcast, but when I think podcast, I think long form. I think 35, hour and a half long. Zero interest in that. I like to keep all of these short. The shirts are awesome. Can't wait to get it. Thank you. Love, love, love the interviews, Dave. Can't wait for the games. Chad Twist, athletes ranked next to each other will use the same box. This will create a mono-a-mono dynamic that's lacking in CrossFit. At Tracy Briggs, can't wait to see the 1 mile run. I've been curious about the athletes' mile time for a while. It's going to be a great event. The 1 mile run is definitely going to be a great event. That's going to be really exciting, and it's free. So anyone who wants to go to Farrington Field Friday night to watch that definitely should, because if you're in the area and you don't even have tickets, if you're not even in the area and don't even have tickets, come out to the party. At Pete Shaw, good friend. Love when top athletes do class. There's obviously a need to train more volume for the top athletes, but using class for your GPP and the anchor to plan for the rest of your training, weakness, workout, etc. is a great idea. That is how you galvanize a community, lead by example, and stay true to CrossFit's theory of program for the best, scale for the rest. I agree, Peter. Good comment. At Michael Wright 9101, congrats on finishing the athlete interviews. They're a lot of fun to watch, and for all those complaining they're not on the CrossFit channel, I am happy we got them at all. Looking forward to what's next. I think we put a lot of them up on the CrossFit channel, so just take a look. At JRow558, post-games interviews, yay. Interested to hear how their pre-game opinions, expectations compare to their post-games experience. The style and vibe of the athlete interviews are spot on. Looking forward to more. Yes, post-game interviews. Yes, I still haven't formulated exactly how that's going to go. At first, I thought maybe I'd go through all 80 again. Nah, I don't think that's the right format. Maybe I'll just do the top 20. That might be a good one. Top 20 men, top 20 women, post games athlete interviews. I like that. Can we get some content from the demo team, please? They look like a great team for this year's games. Well, I put out a video of Trista Smith, so there's some content. Yeah, maybe I should have done, or maybe I still will. Nah, it's becoming too late now, especially with this travel. I was going to say a interview series with them, too. Hi, Dave. CrossFit has just launched a new shop, but just in Europe. What about Europe? Or just in the U.S., what about Europe? I don't know the details for Europe. I'll look into that. CrossFit did launch a new shop, so go check it out if you haven't. So you can pick up your CrossFit swag for the games or just for in general. It is at, the URL is, hold on, I'm pulling it up, store.crossfit.com. So check it out. They got a bunch of cool stuff. Let me go back to comments. Love the game interviews. Great job with the live. Thanks, Deborah. If CrossFit had a call-in show on ESPN, I'd definitely tune in every day to watch it. I would too. And Samuel Bayano, 99. Hi, Dave. Hey, Dave. Curious to understand the decision behind the introduction of training camps award at the games, especially after you said that you find the notion of training camps to be silly in one of the athlete interviews. Thanks. Here's the deal. I do find them kind of to be silly in terms of how cliquey they've become, but in terms of they are a thing and they are really in the space and kind of organically developed in our sport, meaning nobody said we are going to have training camps. And some of the best things developed this way. They started popping up years ago. So I might think they're silly, but they're still a reality and they still have a place. And actually through all these interviews, I asked a lot of people about what training camp they were in and realized that a lot of them are in camps. And so decided, well, what if we just give a kind of unofficial award and recognize the top training camp? So that's how that was born. I think it's a good test, good experiment. I really wasn't expecting it to be so loud after I kind of talked about it to Matt O'Keefe, and then all these other guys started posting about it, and I kind of meant to keep it underground, but it is conceptually underground. I saw someone somewhere. Hold on, here's a good one. I'm going to go with this. At DJ Yeramith, since jumping into the corrupt world of olive oil making, have you received any threats or warnings from underworld olive oil bosses wanting to control your product? Also, any good books on the subject? No, I don't know any good books on the subject. I'll look into it. If anyone has a recommendation, let me know. No olive oil bosses from the underworld have reached out to me. Maybe I should minimize my travel to Italy for the time being while I'm selling olive oil. I'm not worried about it. I'm too small time. It's local stuff. It's only from California. I don't know how corrupt it is here in California, if there's any underworld olive oil illegal activities with California-based olive oil. I hope not. But no one's contacted me. Back to the other thing, the training camp thing. That's what I was talking about. So the other piece I wanted to add to this is someone mentioned why not do the top affiliate for these guys. The thing is, so that's a good idea, and I think that's the intent of the affiliate cup and the team cup is to recognize affiliates, understanding it's morphed into where this super team thing becomes a thing, which I'm not a fan of, but our rules currently are set up to where there are a lot of affiliates who do it, but there are also people who create these super teams. Still at affiliates, though. Back to what I was going to say. So why I think doing training camps versus top affiliate for the individuals makes more sense, because there's large collections of people who do associate with the training camp regardless of what affiliate they're at. Meaning, if we did affiliate, I imagine there's roughly, this is going to be wrong, but 80 different affiliates represented. So there's not a collection of affiliates, and the collection of affiliates would be biased just towards Proven because the number of athletes there, HWPO, and Mayhem because of the athletes there. And what I mean by the training camps, you could be associated with those, but not actually train there. There's people from Australia who are associated. So it's a little more, I hate to use this word, inclusive and more to associate with the training camp and participate in this and not actually be at that physical location. Whereas with an affiliate award, I think you'd actually have to be at that location, and I think it would minimize the number of teams or whatever that we have. And again, hey guys, look, don't get fucking wrapped around the axle on this. It's just a thing for fun. Everyone's like, Sevon's little fucking guys were criticizing it, he told me, and like people are all spun up. It's just for fun. It doesn't matter. Hey, and at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the games at all. It doesn't affect how hard those athletes are going to go or how they're going to compete. We're just going to take some of the data at the end, tabulate it, and behind the scenes, I'm going to hand an award to whichever camp wins. So that's all there is to it. Well, that's it. I got to head back home, work out real quick, clean up, and then head to the airport. So thanks for tuning in to the Weekend Review. Check out tdcmercantile.com for olive oil and or for the new game shirt. And then I'll make some more content this week. I don't know what yet, though. Thanks. Bye.